What's up? The ultimate intro. The ultimate intro to TeaDB. Episode 230. We're keeping it. It's in the live show. Fuck it.
Real. Doing it live.
Yeah. Boom. Yeehaw. All right. Oh my lord. I'm gonna remove some of this.
Do it.
So we are gonna be drinking a ripe from W2T.
Yep. So this tea is from his own production line. It has been named the Pretty Girls. It is his, I think it's his premium production of ripe Pu'erh. So I think it sells for $40 for 200 grams. So, you know, it's a little bit more expensive than your average ripe, but not crazy.
Yeah, it's still really reasonable.
And we are going to have a try.
Boop.
So this is sent to me by my tea friend Grill. Thank you, Grill.
Yeah.
Looking forward to trying this.
And looks like it's pretty tightly compressed. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it was broken up a little bit more, small pieces, tightly compressed teas. We're gonna do that, especially if you have a small sample. You don't have a lot of options in sort of how to excavate the tea successfully.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're gonna make it work out well, and I'm giving it a pretty long rinse because it was pretty compact.
Yeah. So Denny, here's a question. So there are times when we do not rinse tea, such as with the last one. Would there ever be a case for ripe Pu'erh where you do not rinse?
I don't really think so.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would just rinse it every time. And for most raw Pu'erh, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be a pretty damn special raw or ripe
And probably
Pu'erh to not rinse it.
a young raw Pu'erh too, rather than like an aged one.
Yeah, I mean, just, it's old. Like,
Yeah.
You do want to,
Yeah,
it's just from a taste and like funkiness, gnarliness perspective. The first steeping is gonna just be a little bit
muddier.
Yeah, it's just not gonna be a true demonstration of what really you're drinking, and so it's kind of just a good idea to just sort of ditch it. I don't know. It's like
also helps to open up the tea. This is pretty compressed.
Yeah,
Denny remarked,
it's
so
still
it's gonna need some hot water to even open up at this point.
Give her a smell. Smells like a solid ripe, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And otherwise it's looking pretty good, so I'm gonna give it long enough, but not too long. I don't want to overdo this one. And I mean, I've usually only had I don't think I've had a ripe from W2T.
I think it's yeah.
Have you brought one on?
Maybe one. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, you're right. We've definitely predominantly brought on mainly young raw from him. So, yeah.
Well, let's give it a shot.
Yeah, let's do it. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Sweet, a little bit of that cherry vibe going on. It's got a lot of oak. Maybe a little hint of some sort of those molasses-y flavors. We're not getting into the meat of this tea yet. It does taste a little bit young to me still.
Yeah. I feel like I can't totally judge the tea off this one. This tastes like a fairly stereotypical ripe for me. Maybe it's not dark and heavy as some ripes can get. Yeah, so we'll see.
It's got a nice long aftertaste, and wow.
That's darker. We're getting that
much different.
very vivid, really pretty red, actually.
Yeah.
Reminds me a bit of the brews that we get from that Shaguan tool that you have.
Yeah. And this is feeling pretty smack dab in the middle of the category here for me.
Oh yeah, cherry vibes.
Yeah. And that last little dump into the tea tray, it's just, there's a lot of the sediment there. It's not the most pleasant thing to be chewing your tea when you're drinking it. You can use a screen if you want, whatever. We do drink so much freaking tea that we can kind of do that.
Yeah.
For you beggars out there, maybe you do use a.
Yeah, beggars use screens. Is that what we're doing?
I'm just vilifying the audience, whoever I can.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers to people who use screens.
Much better. Creamy. Velvety. Little hint of bitterness.
Yeah, you know, I was about to say that it feels a little bit more active, and a little less soft than your average ripe tea. I don't know if you agree with that.
I think that's right. I think there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of strong flavors, and the bitterness might be a little bit less common. One of the benefits of having a tea like this, though, is that when it ages, those flavors are going to mellow out,
right.
and it's going to create a much richer, rounder flavor profile overall.
Yep.
I would hope, at least. It's hard to say, but it's the idea. And yeah, this is just immediately breaking apart now, and it is.
Yeah. And I'm watching as Denny pours the water from the kettle into there, and you can just immediately tell for some of these brews that just by the color when he pours it in, how strong the tea's going to be.
Yeah.
And so some of those earlier brews, Denny brewed it for a little bit longer, just because the bits were coming apart. So,
yeah, pretty uniform in terms of the tea itself. Leaves aren't big. I'd say there's pretty small leaves overall.
Yeah, so tippier end.
Definitely a noticeably long aftertaste. Still feel like I'm really experiencing the tea now. I'm hopeful that this isn't too has too much of a bite. So we'll find out.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
It's kind of like a oddly refreshingness to this tea. I don't know how to describe it either.
It's not. The bitterness I would expect to grow, and it hasn't. It sort of just has like a intensity to it. Has a really wonderful woody flavor. So this is a really solid smack dab in the middle of the category ripe Pu'erh. If you've had a ripe Pu'erh before, this is what you're going to be tasting. But you're right. There's a lot of activity in this tea. There's a lot of longevity. Really salivating. There's a lot of just sort of physical experiences going on too.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Yeah.
When would you reboil the water for this? Or would you try to hit this always with boiling water, or?
I would probably reboil, but not for a bit. I think we can do one more steeping without reboiling, just because of how. God, look at the color.
Yeah, it's dark.
It's still so dark. So, this tea is probably going to last for quite a bit of time. My goodness, look at that. So once the color maybe just doesn't get as deeply saturated in the cup when you're brewing it, maybe then the next steeping you decide to reboil the water and give it a little bit longer.
Yeah.
This is one of those teas that, at least right now, it doesn't seem to be needing any extra oomph. I mean, there's still a lot of stuff going on here.
Yeah.
And there's a nice subtle sweetness to this tea that is more punctuated than I think a typical ripe Pu'erh. So usually the sort of younger ripe Pu'erhs don't have quite as much kind of subtle flavors going on, and this one does have a nice sort of sweeter vibe. I can't quite place what I would call that sort of sweetness or how I would describe it, but
would you say that this tea is sweeter than your average ripe Pu'erh, or not so much?
It's interesting. It's sort of like paradoxically more sweet and more bitter. It's just more intense. Period. There's just more.
Yeah. It's like a stronger, lasting mouthfeel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wonder if this tea will develop and sort of the intensity will kind of age out or not. But I think right now it's still yummy to drink.
For sure. Yeah. So. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
moving more into those like grainy, oaty, creamy stuff, softening up just a bit for this tea.
Yeah.
Even though the liqueur was still pretty strong color to it, I think the brew probably would have been closer to the original ones if
I think so.
Reboiled.
I think so.
We'll see.
Yeah, texturally it's a little bit lighter. Still plenty of flavor going on. Totally agree. It's creamy. It's bold would be another description. Lasting flavor for sure.
Yeah.
So reboiled the water, and I'm gonna give this one a little bit longer than I would typically. We're gonna do kind of more of a stress test. So this is reboiled water and an extra couple of beats. I think this is gonna be our 5th steeping.
Yeah, something like that.
So, and
wow, look at the color continues to be very pretty.
Yeah, beautiful, clean. Very nice on the stomach too. I'm surprised, sort of, given how intense this tea is, it's fairly soft. Do you think this would pass the mom test?
I'd say this is right in the middle of the mom test. This is no raw pu'erh, but and I think if you brewed it right, it wouldn't be overly aggressive. It's just a foreign flavor. I think it's what it is.
Yeah.
And I think a fair amount of moms, and I think just a fair amount of new tests. I mean, the mom test is kind of like a way of saying, like, person that doesn't drink tea in this way, how much would they like it necessarily? Right. And I think it'd do okay as far as a ripe tea does, but maybe not a slam dunk like some of the oolongs or the Korean tea we brought on last episode would do.
Yeah. So
maybe if you're drinking tea with your mom, maybe bring out teas like the first two, like the previous episodes first, and then maybe try this out at the end as sort of like a maybe, and there's a chance that she'll love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Some people really do enjoy those sort of, people really love coffee and really enjoy those kind of more bitter, sort of different notes. So, they can enjoy it. And
fermented foods are in, if you guys have not noticed. So, if it's a kombucha, kimchi, sauerkraut mom, then might be right up her alley. I think we're losing a little bit of the intensity. Yeah, I think it's just going away from the tea. Yeah, I think we're just, basically it's just... We're brewing out a little bit of the intensity, doing a longer session here on the show, but still really lovely. There are whispers and hints of interesting parts of this tea that I think a seasoned tea drinker would really enjoy. I agree with James. This probably isn't the most approachable ripe pu'erh in the category as well. So there are some really easy to drink sweeter ripes out there. Yeah, like the Shagwan tool that you like. The tool that I recommend all the time. It's very accessible. It's like people can drink it. They might not really love the flavors, but it's going to at least be sort of sweet and interesting to them. This is sweet and interesting, and can be intense and a little bit more complex. I think this would definitely be a great tea to session with some friends. I also think this tea would probably benefit from a year of age, too. Probably, yeah. What year is this? 2015, 2016. And I think maybe the defining characteristic for this tea for me is just that, like, the pungency of the aftertaste that lasts, I feel like is a bit abnormal in a good way for a ripe pu'erh. And I think that probably speaks to Denny saying that you could age this for a bit longer. Yeah. Feels like there's a bit more substance in there compared to other ripe pu'erhs. Yeah. And so maybe it's a little bit more intense and aggressive now, and maybe that might change in the future. Do drink it for its intensity today, and hopefully it will mellow out in beautiful ways as well in the future. Shout out to W2T. We love bringing their stuff on. Folks can grab W2T's tea at white2t.com. Is that right? That is correct. So check homie out. What else? Plug our website, I guess. Yeah, go. Have we done that enough? Probably we've done enough, but that's not going to stop us from stopping. Check us out at tdb.org. If you like our videos, be sure to subscribe below. Hit that thumbs up. Don't hit the thumbs down button. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Anything else?
I don't know. Just go out there and drink some tea and comment on it. Let us know. We love you guys. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next episode for episode 231. Until then, cheers.